America is going through a remarkable moment. Silent, hidden from most, but definitely sacred. There is a silent Catholic upsurge taking place in 10 U.S. states, a wave of faith that is grounded in reality rather than fashion. At the same time, the headlines shout desperation and division. Even though many people think that faith is dwindling in this country, something much bigger is happening underneath the commotion. There is a quiet Eucharistic revival spreading in both busy cities and small towns. Through the devoted testimony of common people returning to the extraordinary grace of the sacraments, rather than through blaring trumpets or viral campaigns, these are not merely increasing numbers. In a secular age, they are embers, catching fire, communities of prayer, strongholds of belief, and families rediscovering the sacred. Additionally, please take a moment to like and subscribe to this video. If this awakening resonates with you, because this isn't just news, you're a part of a movement. You will also notice it if you know where to look. The providential fingerprints. For God continues to plant even when the world ceases to believe, and grace frequently flows most deeply. When the soil appears to be dry, there is still life in the church. It's being prepared, and it is blooming again in the most unlikely places. Number 10. Texas is a unique blend of oil rigs under expansive skies where urban landscapes and rural farmlands converge. It serves as more than just a symbol of American culture. Beneath its tough exterior and spirit of independence, a spiritual transformation is taking place. Recent Pew Research data from 2023 to 2024 indicates that over 22% of Texans now identify as Catholic. However, the true story goes beyond mere numbers. This growth represents a renewal happening in churches and congregations, focusing on enriching hearts with faith through practices like the Eucharist, the Rosary, and confession. The Hispanic community, constituting 39% of Texas's population, plays a significant role in driving this revival. It's over 11 million people. Roughly 43% of them maintain a strong Catholic identity, deeply rooted in their heritage. Their faith is not just a remembrance but a way of life, evident in traditions like processions and novenas. These long-standing practices, passed down through generations, are now flourishing in Texas's 15 dioceses. While progress is evident statewide, significant advancements are seen primarily in the 4 largest dioceses: Galveston, Houston, Austin, Dallas, and Fort Worth have collectively gained an impressive 3.2 presently. There are approximately 8.5 to 9 million Catholics in Texas, accounting for nearly 1/3 of the population. This growth holds a sense of ancient prophecy, reminiscent of Ezekiel's vision of bones coming to life in the valley. What is particularly remarkable is the deliberate approach of the Catholic Church in Texas. For example, the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston conducts Mass in 14 different languages, showcasing the diverse and inclusive nature of the Church. Despite Texas being known for its political and cultural divisions, the Church acts as a unifying force, fostering connections instead of barriers. Esteemed leaders like Bishop Daniel Garcia in Austin actively support migrant rights and serve Hispanic communities with unwavering dedication. Rather than clinging to the past, Catholicism in Texas embraces the marginalized and extends a welcoming hand, even at the border. Encouraging developments persist. With over 250 Catholic schools educating 64,000 students in the state, constituting more than 20% of the private school population. With the possibility of a 1B voucher bill on the horizon, an additional 25,000 young Texans may soon have access to Catholic education. This investment not only emphasizes academic excellence, but also serves as a means of spreading the message of faith. A new generation of Catholic students is revitalizing their faith by initiating prayer initiatives on campus, broadcasting Eucharistic adoration online, participating in international church events, and transforming their living spaces into sacred havens of devotion. Far from dwindling, their traditions are being reinvigorated. In Texas, the sacred is not merely a vibrant and living reality that is being rediscovered with courage, conviction, and a deep sense of reverence. Its presence growing more pronounced with each passing day. Number 9. Florida. Beyond the sun-kissed beaches and theme parks, Florida is undergoing a profound transformation, emerging as a hub of spiritual growth and renewal. Catholicism is flourishing in the state, with a notable 22% of residents' recent Pew Research data. This upward trend is evident in the significant 5% increase in Florida's Catholic population between 2010 and 2020, bucking the national trend of stagnation. A key indicator of this resurgence is the remarkable growth in Catholic education. Enrollment surging 12.8% in the 2023 to 2024 academic year. This surge is largely attributed to the state's innovative school voucher program, which provides up to $8,000 per child, making Catholic education accessible to thousands of families who previously considered it unaffordable. As a result, Catholic schools in Florida are experiencing an unprecedented influx of students, numbers swelling from 89,870 to 93,455. The Archdiocese of Miami is at the forefront of an educational movement. It's overseeing 64 Catholic schools that cater to more than nearly all of the 61 campuses are currently filled to capacity or close to it. With 7 of the 9 high schools having waiting lists, this indicates a strong desire for enduring authentic values. However, Miami is not the only place experiencing this trend. In Central Florida, the Diocese of Orlando is guiding around 401,000 Catholics through 80 parishes and 38 schools, establishing one of the most dynamic Catholic presences in the Southeast. In contrast, a remarkable change is happening in Pensacola, Tallahassee. In 2025, there was a 36% increase in adult conversions within the diocese, a significant 44% rise from before the pandemic. The momentum is growing, and the church is actively responding. The dioceses in Florida are implementing forward-thinking pastoral strategies and adapting to diverse cultural needs. The rich diversity of the Catholic community in Florida is being acknowledged and celebrated. For instance, in Miami, Mass is conducted in over a dozen languages, including Spanish, Creole, Tagalog, Vietnamese, Portuguese, and Polish. The Catholic community in Florida reflects a diverse and vibrant mix of people, from Cubans and Haitians to Filipinos and Brazilians. In the last 10 years, the proportion of non-white and non-Catholic students in Florida's Catholic schools has risen significantly, 6%. Togo beyond mere figures. They represent the real-life embodiment of spreading the teachings of Jesus, influencing young hearts and minds, and welcoming children from all walks of life to embrace truth, beauty, and unity. The growth of this movement is supported by a steadily increasing number of spiritual leaders. Presently, Florida's bishops oversee 175 priests across 472 parishes and 51 mission communities. These priests are not just figures. They serve as conduits to the sacraments, channels of compassion, and guides to eternal salvation. Their efforts are paving the way for the expansion of the Church, impacting individual lives one person at a time. Each sacrament, each baptism, and every instance of Eucharistic adoration held under the Florida sky contributes to this silent wave of divine grace. Florida is transcending its image solely as a retirement or holiday destination. It is emerging as a beacon of Catholic resurgence on a national scale. Skeptics who once questioned the possibility of a spiritual revival now gaze at the sunshine, state in awe. Florida is a place where faith is not faltering under societal pressures but is flourishing. With unwavering faith, education, and Jesus Christ as its core. Number 8. Arizona is experiencing a remarkable spiritual awakening in the midst of its arid landscapes, particularly in the Phoenix Diocese. A movement of faith is blossoming like a heavenly oasis, with over 300,000 new Catholics having embraced the faith in Phoenix alone over the past decade, bringing the Catholic population in the diocese to over 2 million. This growth is not the result of marketing strategies, but rather a divine momentum akin to the Acts of the Apostles. The diocese supports this expanding community with 94 parishes and 23 missions, serving as vital spiritual hubs in one of the country's rapidly growing regions. However, the mission extends beyond traditional liturgical practices. The Diocese of Phoenix has adopted an ambitious generational vision that integrates evangelization into its infrastructure and architecture, fostering hope and faith. In the last decade, more than $285 million has been invested in constructing and revitalizing churches, schools, seminaries, and pastoral centers, each structure serving as a tangible testament to the incarnation of the Church. With 29 elementary schools and 7 high schools across Arizona, providing a nurturing environment for over 15,000 students, academic achievement is not the sole focus. Rather, these institutions strive to cultivate virtue, discipleship, and a profound connection to Christ. The impressive outcomes speak for themselves: 99% of students graduating and 98% advancing to college. Yet, the ultimate aim is not merely educational success, but spiritual growth and sanctity, shaping students into saints within the classroom and beyond. Driving this increase is an innovative alignment of church objectives with government regulations. Arizona led the way by implementing a pioneering universal school choice plan that provides $6,500 per child via education savings accounts, ESAs. This initiative has had a significant positive impact on numerous Catholic families, turning challenges into opportunities. The effects have been profound, with school enrollment stabilizing, closures avoided, and new educational institutions emerging. The number of education providers participating in Arizona's ESA program has surged by 35%, now exceeding 4,000. This growth is reshaping the landscape of Catholic education throughout the state, exemplified by institutions like St. John Paul II Catholic high schools showcasing new developments alongside established pillars such as Brophy, College Prep, and Seton Catholic. While specific figures are not widely disclosed, reports from diocesan leaders indicate a noticeable increase in seminarians, deacons, and individuals pursuing religious callings. In an era where many regions are shuttering seminaries, Arizona remains a beacon of hope. There is a palpable sense of divine calling, and young individuals are heeding the summons. Amidst the diverse cultural tapestry of Arizona's church, which mirrors the state's captivating scenery, the Diocese of Phoenix stands out for its rich mix of ethnic communities, including Hispanic, Filipino, Vietnamese, African, and Native American groups. The Church not only embraces these communities, but also empowers them, fostering unity and exclusivity. From remote indigenous territories to bustling city districts, from Filipino religious observances to Guadalupe processions, the Church embodies the celestial vision described in Revelation 7-9, where individuals from all backgrounds come together. While Arizona may seem like a desolate expanse in the eyes of the world, through the lens of faith, it is a place where God's transformative work is evident. The arid desert is not just blooming with flora, but also with divine grace. Number 7. North Carolina has undergone a remarkable transformation in its Catholic community. North Carolina has experienced significant growth in its Catholic population, now exceeding 11.2 million people and expanding at a rate of nearly 1.5% annually. This growth has been fueled by an influx of new residents from various regions, bringing not only industry and culture, but also a renewed presence of the Catholic faith. Today, Catholicism ranks as the second largest religious identity in the state, following only the Baptists, a substantial change from its previous status on the margins. The growth in the number of Catholics in North Carolina has been astonishing, with the population increasing from around 200,000 at the beginning of the millennium to nearly 1 million today, a 5-fold increase in just 2 decades. This growth is evident in the Diocese of Charlotte and Raleigh, with St. Matthew's Parish in Charlotte standing out as the largest Catholic parish in the country, serving a vibrant community of over 10,000 families. Expansion of Catholicism in North Carolina is not just about numbers, but also about vitality, with an increasing number of parishes, priests, and Catholic schools contributing to the growth and transformation of the faith community. Masses in multiple languages and ministries tailored to these communities make everyone feel welcome. In Durham, Cristo Rey High School is helping low-income Hispanic and immigrant kids get a top-notch education while staying rooted in faith. Even historic schools like Charlotte Catholic High are standing strong, keeping their mission clear despite challenges. North Carolina's Catholic Revival is about more than growth. It's about building a community where faith shapes every part of life. Number 6. Georgia. Down in the heart of the South, where sweet tea and Southern charm reign, a Catholic revival is quietly taking hold. In Atlanta alone, the Catholic population has exploded from just 4,000 in 1960 to nearly 900,000 today. That's a 30-fold increase. Catholics now make up 14% of Metro Atlanta, and the Archdiocese is stepping up to meet the moment. Their 16 Catholic schools are teaching over 10,500 students, and 75% of these schools have earned top awards for academic excellence. But it's not just about good grades. 30% of students are minorities, and 1 in 5 aren't even Catholic, drawn by the Church's focus on truth and values. A state scholarship program is giving out $1.8 million each year to help families afford these schools. The Archdiocese is also planning a new school for over 400 Hispanic kids, showing they're thinking ahead. Parishes are growing too, with masses in Spanish, Vietnamese, and more, welcoming everyone from Filipinos to African Catholics. Vocations are starting to rise, especially among first-generation Americans who grew up praying in their homes. This isn't just a numbers game. It's about building a church that feels like family. Georgia's revival is happening in quiet ways, in parishes and classrooms, where faith is becoming the heartbeat of communities. Number 5. Tennessee. Picture Tennessee's rolling hills and country music vibes. And now, imagine a Catholic revival growing right in the middle of it all. In Nashville, approximately 117,000 people, or 11% of the population, are Catholic. Spread across 56 parishes, the state's Catholic community might seem small at 7% overall, but it's growing fast. Vocations are a big sign of this. 45 men are training to be priests or deacons, a huge deal in a time when many places struggle to find new clergy. Catholic schools are thriving too, with Nashville's enrollment jumping from 4,000 to 6,400 students in just a few years. In Knoxville, schools saw a 3% increase in 1 year, with a 100% graduation rate and 99% of kids heading to college schools. Like St. Henry and Sacred Heart are growing by 12 to 14% each year, showing parents want more than just academics. They want faith. A stunning $30.8 million cathedral in Knoxville, seating over 1,300 people, is a bold sign of this growth. Nashville's legacy of faith, hope, and love campaign is raising money for new parishes, schools, and vocations. Immigrants, especially Hispanic families, are fueling this boom, with parishes offering Spanish masses and community programs. Tennessee's Catholic revival is about people coming together, praying together, and building a future where faith matters. Number 4. Colorado. It's known for its mountains and outdoor adventures. Colorado is also home to a Catholic revival that's hard to miss. In the Diocese of Colorado Springs, the Catholic population has grown by 15.6%, reaching 176,000 people across 39 parishes. The Archdiocese of Denver is leading the way with 31 schools, 900 teachers, and a 99% graduation rate. Over $50 million in scholarships through the Seeds of Hope program has made Catholic education accessible to families who need it most. New schools like Chesterton Academy of St. John Paul II are being planned to meet the demand for faith-based learning. Colorado's schools aren't just surviving, they're thriving, with waiting lists and almost no closures. The Church is also embracing diversity, welcoming students of all backgrounds and supporting those with disabilities. In October 2024, Colorado Springs launched a bold plan called Illuminating Our Path, focusing on mission, leadership, and academics to keep the Church growing. From Denver to Colorado Springs, bishops and educators are collaborating to build a strong and united church. This isn't just about numbers. It's about creating a community where faith shapes every decision. Colorado's showing us that the Church can be a mountain of hope in a changing world. Number 3. Utah. If you think Utah is just about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, think again. Catholicism is making waves here. 1897, Utah had just 8,000 Catholics. Today, there are 360,000. About 10% of the state's population, with numbers doubling in the last 30 years. The Hispanic community, making up 70% of Utah's Catholics, has grown by 250% in that time. The Diocese of Salt Lake City supports 48 parishes and 16 schools across 85,000 square miles. Reaching people in cities and remote towns, Catholic schools are seeing a huge demand for per K. Enrollment jumped 137% after the pandemic, and early admissions for 2025 are already open. Programs like MIAS are training Hispanic lay leaders to serve as catechists and deacons, especially in rural areas. Bilingual ministries are helping immigrant families feel at home, with deacons translating not just words, but cultures. Catholic revival is happening in a state packed with religious communities, ranking 8th for houses of worship per person. When Pope Francis passed away, a memorial mass in Salt Lake City drew people from all walks of life, showing the church's growing voice. This is a revival built on faith, family, and grassroots effort, proving God can work anywhere. Number 2, South Carolina. Once a quiet corner for Catholics, South Carolina is now a shining example of faith on the rise. 1987, the Catholic population has grown by 200%. It's reaching over 218,000 people, which is 4.1% of the state. In the last decade alone, it's up another 14%, thanks to young adults, Hispanic immigrants, and campus ministries. At the University of South Carolina, Catholic outreach is so popular that weekly masses are standing room only, with an extra Sunday Mass added to fit everyone. The Diocese of Charleston, covering the whole state, has 95 parishes, 21 missions, and 32 schools. School enrollment grew 5.5% from 2019 to 2022, with 96% of high schoolers graduating and $6 million in scholarships helping families. Christ our King are packed, with waiting lists forming. The Hispanic community, 27% of Catholics, is driving growth, and the diocese's $60 million campaign is funding Hispanic ministries and new parishes. Events like the Eucharistic Congress draw 1,700 people, and monthly rosary groups in Greenville bring families together. South Carolina is part of a bigger Catholic boom in the Southeast, alongside Florida and North Carolina. This is a church that's alive, welcoming, and growing fast. Number 1, Idaho. Of all the places you might expect Catholicism to thrive, Idaho likely wouldn't top the list. And yet, tucked into the rugged terrain of the Mountain West, something remarkable is unfolding. Quietly, steadily, and undeniably rooted in grace. In the Diocese of Boise, the church is not just surviving, it's awakening. In a state often known for its fierce independence, Widiopan landscapes, and frontier spirit, the Catholic faith has found a foothold, and it's growing stronger. Over 11% of Idaho's population now identifies as Catholic. That's more than 202,000 souls, a 40% increase over the past 2 decades. Modest in percentage, yes, but massive in momentum. And this isn't passive cultural Catholicism, it's a sacramental, missionary, and mission-driven. From its 52 parishes that stretch across valleys, towns, and mountain passes, the Diocese of Boise is embracing a statewide vision. With 92 dioceses and priests and 31 religious clergy, the infrastructure here isn't geared towards survival. It's built for expansion. Unlike mana districts around the country grappling with school closures, Boise is bucking the trend. Catholic education in Idaho is growing. Schools like St. Ignatius Catholic School in Meridian, opened in 2016 with a capacity for 500 students, have quickly become spiritual and academic cornerstones. Bishop Kelly High School in Boise continues to be recognized as one of the most outstanding secondary schools in the state. And St. Joseph's Catholic School, founded over 118 years ago in downtown Boise, remains a living witness to Catholic endurance. In the heart of the capital, but this isn't just growth in facilities, It's an expansion off the mission. The diocese is actively planning new schools in cities like Kirkdale, investing in priestly vocations, and maintaining essential Catholic medical. Institutions like St. Alphonsus in Boise and St. Mary's in Cottonwood, these are more than hospitals and classrooms. They are beacons of hope in a culture increasingly unsure of what real healing and formation look like. What makes Idaho's story even more striking is its alignment with state with-a-preparent policies. While much of the nation remains locked in debate over the future of education, Idaho's Catholic schools are quietly growing, experiencing 5 to 6% enrollment increases, thanks to family-centered funding structures. This has positioned the church as not only a spiritual refuge, but also an educational anchor for the next generation. No, Idaho doesn't have the Catholic saturation of states like New York, Illinois, or California. But what it does have is momentum. Momentum built on fidelity, sacramental identity, a growing community of believers who are not waiting for perfect conditions to build the kingdom. They're doing it now. In a state defined by mountains, the church here is becoming its own high place, a light lifted up in the wilderness. The Diocese of Boise is proving that when the soil is ready, God plants deeply. And what's blooming in this unexpected corner of America is nothing short of radiant. Across deserts, mountains, campuses, and city streets, Catholicism is not fading. It's flourishing in the most unexpected places. These 10 states are proof that the Holy Spirit is still moving quietly, powerfully, and often far from the spotlight. Now, we want to hear from you. Is your state or your parish part of this quiet revival? Have you witnessed signs of growth, new vocations, or deeper community in your area? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone else searching for hope. If this video stirred something in you, if you believe in the beauty of what God is building across this country, then don't let it end here. Like this video to help more people discover the quiet Catholic boom happening around us. Subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a story of faith, culture, and renewal. And most importantly, share this with someone who needs to. Be reminded the church is not dying. She's just getting started.